Uh, how is your asset allocation going to be when you retire? How much of outlier is your portfolio going to be? Welcome to Subramani. The question which plagues a lot of people, especially getting into retirement, is to keep wondering how their assets should be allocated. So let us talk of people who have decided that they'll have so much money in equity, so much money in debt, etc. But their own big money that is going to come is from their personal business which they are doing. They are going to sell off their personal business, maybe to their partner, maybe to their employee, or to their son. They're going to give it to him and ask him to run it, whatever. So if that is going to be a big portion of your portfolio, you need to understand that that portion has to be treated like equity. Your own business is equity. So if you have that as equity, plus you have other equity which is necessary to sustain your borrowing against during inflating times, plus you have debt, and maybe you have some real estate. So managing all this is not going to be very easy. For a minute you are assuming that you don't need to do any saving for your retirement or any investing for your retirement, because you will be able to sell your current business for a good sum. Your financial advisor has told you you will need something like 3 crores for retirement, and you're very comfortable because you think that your main business which you're doing is going to sell for about 5 crores. Apart from that, you have maybe a couple of crores in bonds and equities, etc. So you think it's very comfortable. Now this is comfortable, there is absolutely no doubt, but will you be able to actually sell it? When will you sell it? What will be the cutoff date? How will you manage that sale? That's not going to be very easy. It's not going to be very sustainable. It's easy to talk about it, but it is not going to be sustainable. If you're going to give it to your son, the question is, does your son even want it? Will it be very smooth sailing within the family? If your son lives with you, which means 24/7, father and son are going to be in the same business, which means you're going to office at the same time, you're coming back at the same time, and it may not be very easy to give it away even to your son. So if you're selling it, find out what steps you need to take, and at every point in time see how is your asset allocation. If you have your own business, I would suggest extremely small equity allocation, because your own business acts as an equity, right? So if you think your business is worth 5 crores and you have, say, 2 crores other financial investments, out of which 1 crore is in debt and 1 crore is in equity, do you understand that out of the 7 crores that you have, 6 crores is in equity? That is inappropriate. So you need to put more money into debt funds and or bank deposits or senior citizen, whatever you can and whatever you must, because your main business may not be able to get you 5 crores. You may get 4 crores, you may get 3 crores, right? So build up a debt portfolio. Now what happens if you have a lot of real estate? Say suppose 70% of your net worth is in real estate, and you have another 25% in equity, which means your debt portion is very little. You have real estate, you have equity, and you have very small amount in debt. Now that's perfectly possible that you are saying that my real estate is like debt and I get rental income. That's fine, but prices fluctuate. Sometimes you're unable to sell. And also at the age of, say, 70, you may make a compromise and say, I cannot afford to have any real estate because it's too much of a headache looking after it. I will sell all my real estate and buy equity or debt, which is more easy to manage for me. Well, at some stage you may do that, and so at that stage again you have to decide on how your asset allocation will be. But yes, having all your money in business, having all your money in real estate, or substantially large amount in real estate to generate rent, all of that will look like very inappropriate asset allocation. But I have said this in the past, there is nothing called an ideal asset allocation, but you have to understand your limitations. It's very difficult being a landlord beyond the age of, say, 70, because you have to still run around for some repairs or things like that, and that is not going to be very easy, and so you may decide on your change in asset allocation. So own business, real estate, These are all reasons why your portfolio could be an outlier. Let me look at some other reasons. Also remember that in India, your asset allocation has to provide for the fact that we do not have target date funds. If you have target date funds, let's say in 2021 you decide that you will retire in 2050, so that is about 30 years from now almost. In US you can buy a 2050 target fund where the fund manager will choose the appropriate classes, whether it is gold or debt or equity, whether it is emerging equity. He will choose all that and give you the corpus in 2050, and it will be optimally managed. In India we do not have target date funds as of now, but I think that means more work for the MFD to sit and find out the exact retirement age. Right now it has to be a guess because you do not know when your willingness to work and the market's ability to give you work stops. So you have to create those target date funds and decide your asset allocation. So we looked at people with business income or a business to sell, people with real estate to sell. Who are the others who could be outliers? Because these people could have a asset allocation which looks very, very inappropriate given their age. But all these things change completely when the ability to draw is much higher, because the corpus is much higher. I know businessman who has bought tremendous amount of life insurance policies from LIC, which are endowment, which are giving a poor return, but the fact that he has paid all that premium and now that is coming back to him is looking very good, because that can be a good way to that can be a good asset class from which to withdraw regularly. So yes, you can do that. You can do laddering of insurance policies, classic endowment. You can do ULIPs, but ULIPs, the problem is you'll have to withdraw on a particular date, whereas in a classic endowment you can always convert it into a pension. Of course in a ULIP also you can convert it into a pension, but you should convert it into a pension on a day which you think is appropriate. Currently, for example, if the interest rates are low, don't buy too much of an annuity. Buy a small annuity. Afterwards, if interest rates go up, buy more annuity. But if interest rates keep going down, or it is exactly where it is, and you're 77, 78 years of age, please buy your second round of annuity. First round is already, you bought it 60, we are 75. So 15 years it has happened. So 15th year, go and buy some more, some more annuity. Also remember that sometimes you're not saving for your retirement because you're hoping that your business will sell, and so be careful about such complacence. Also be careful that if you're a lot of age gap, if you have a 10-year age gap between husband and wife, chances are you should do your asset allocation based on your needs and based on her needs. So create two portfolios and then check out whether her portfolio is conforming to norms for a 60-year-old when you are 70. So the 70-year-old's portfolio can look very different from the portfolio of a 60-year-old. Even when you combine the two, see how much of exposure to equity, debt, real estate you have. See what works for you. I mean, there's a lot of theories, a lot of books, a lot of videos, but see what will work for you. That's more important than all this, and learn to pick all this and adapt and create your own asset allocation during your retirement. Thank you.